It's Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team.
That weird, almost Aladdin Arabian Nights song can only mean one thing. We're going into the sand. We're going out there to find out what was real and what was just a mirage over the weekend. We try to do those things in sports that are difficult to decide. Does it have lasting power, or was it just 1 week? Money Mirages, and Woods is taking the lead on it today. Woods, go right ahead with the first one.
Guys, real or mirage, Albany lacrosse is a national title contender.
Real, and real some more. Here's what's going to happen with Albany lacrosse. They got a huge game coming up against Maryland on March 10th. Possibly their next game, they might fall off a bit and have some people wondering like, hey, Albany didn't look good as game 2 as they get in game 1. That's fine. They still win. They'll be okay. March 10th against Maryland's huge. No reason for me to pick against the Great Danes now.
Maryland, I believe, is number 3 in the rankings.
They are. Yep, they're number 3. And then you go into conference play. Now, here's what's going to happen with Albany lacrosse. Everybody in that conference is going to get up for that to be the game of the year. Everybody's going to want to beat them. So they're going to have some weird game in March or April that we sit back and think, ooh, Albany only beat so-and-so by 2 goals or 3 goals, and people are going to freak out and wonder why in the world that even happened. But they're going to continue to win. The goal is to get to Memorial Day weekend, to get to the Final Four. Yes, real. This is a national championship contending team in the Capital Region.
This may be the most real or mirage question that we've ever had. I honestly think that. This Albany team is, in my mind, the number 1 team in the country. I'm sorry, Duke, but you didn't beat a top 10 team, I don't think. Albany's the best team. It's as clear as day. They have every single aspect of a lacrosse team that you need. A defense that's pretty good. A face-off guy that can win you pretty much any face-off at any time. A goal-scoring machine. A facilitator. They have it all. They've got a keeper that will likely be an all-conference player in J.D. Colarusso. He was spectacular. He had 10 saves. I honestly think is it almost national championship or bust?
No, and here's why. Because you can make the comparison to Albany lacrosse to Gonzaga basketball. There's the people who'd be against us right now. They'd say, okay, Gonzaga basketball for the longest time was said, is Gonzaga a national championship contender? Can Gonzaga win with Adam Morrison? And they never could get to the Final Four. They never could do it until last season where they get all the way to the championship game. So it's hard to say it's championship or bust. It's hard to say it's super real because we honestly, again, like Money Mirages, haven't seen it happen. You know, it's not like Duke or Johns Hopkins or Syracuse or these longtime traditional teams who make it to the Final Four every year. Albany hasn't done it. So they haven't been there yet. So that's why I give them like a little bit of the pass of expectations being that high, because being to the Final Four, I think, would still be a huge accomplishment for this program, getting to that weekend.
All right, next one, guys. Real or mirage, Albany basketball can still win the conference title as a 4 seed in the America East tournament. Real or mirage?
Oh. You thought the last one was easy. This is really hard. This is so tough because the 4 seed, and I asked Roger Weiland this, and we're going to talk to him at 6:15. You're going to hear that here on 104.5 The Team, about if that 8th seed in the conference tournament's good enough to beat Vermont. And I'm going to ask him that because I watched Albany play against Vermont at home at CEFCU with a 17-point lead, and I'm not truly convinced they can play a better game than they did. They got to go on the road and beat Vermont in the semis, and then likely if it's a 2-3 matchup on the other end, they got to go back on the road again on a Saturday morning and win again. I'm going to get crushed by Albany fans. I think it's a mirage. I haven't had an example of Albany hanging on, pulling off that big victory. They're not the team we thought they were going to be back in December and November. We were giving the Albany basketball team a ton of hype, especially how good they looked in the non-conference. That team just never arrived this season. So as much as I hate to say it, Albany fans, it's a mirage. I don't see them doing it as a 4 seed.
I'm going to say it's real, guys. And I'm going to do it because there's one guy in particular on that team that I think has the most experience and can get them anywhere as far as this team wants to go, and that's Will Brown. Will Brown, it's not his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing. I just feel as though they're in a slump right now. They're in a spot in their season where for some reason they just can't close out games. And it's been at least like this 4 times this year where they have had a lead late in a game. They've had a double-digit lead, and they can't close the game out. Will Brown will have this team ready come the America East tournament. to take down whoever it is in front of them. I can't say that it's a mirage because of that guy sitting on that bench pulling the strings of this team. I think it's gonna be a different team come the America East tournament. So I'm gonna say it's real.
All you have to do, Coach, is bring in donuts and breakfast for Woods, and he'll change and say how great you are.
I prefer Dunkin' Donuts. I like glazed.
They're sitting right there. Coach brought them in today. Now you're gonna act like you didn't know he brought in food. Cody, who's producing the show, has the food sitting right next to him, smiling away in the producer room.
I'm not a big fast food guy.
Oh, yeah. Now you want special orders from Coach Brown to come in? What, you want him to bring you a steak next time so you say something nice about him on the air?
I prefer number 8 on the Dunkin' Donuts menu.
Go to the third one. Quit kissing up the coach.
Guys, real or mirage, we can have a better all-star game than last night.
Ooh. Man, these are good ones today. Can we have a better all-star game? How can we do it? Ooh. Yes, I got one. Real. And it's, yeah, this is real. Put money on the line. Call it the million. Seriously, right? Call it the $1 million game. I think you could work that in most sports, like the Pro Bowl. You could do it. Major League Baseball, you could spin it a little bit. Hockey, you could spin it.
Now, if it goes to charity, I'm in.
Of course, you're in. I mean, these guys wouldn't be in to play harder if it's going to charity. Sorry to be selfish, but if you put like a big money prize on the line, yeah, it would. Like that's why I love the. Oh my goodness, man, I forgot the name of it. What is the name of the tournament where they have the 5-on-5? I think it's called The Tournament. Great. Yeah, that's actually the name of it.
Yeah.
It's actually called The Tournament where it's $1 million or $2 million. That's fun to play because there's a huge bounty at the end to grab. So the only way the All-Star game could be better because it was really good last night and competitive, and it's up to the players whether or not it's going to be competitive. Put more money on the line. That's how it could be real. So it can be more competitive.
I laid it out earlier, guys. This is real. It can be definitely more competitive, and I laid it out as this. The night of the NBA All-Star game, you start this thing at about 6 o'clock. Game usually tips off around 8:40, 9 o'clock-ish. You have a draft of the teams the night of. So you have no idea going into the game who's going to end up where, who's going to be on what team. You do it live on the court in front of all the fans. You get all the reaction. All the eyes are glued to the NBA for a good 4 or 5 hours. I think that's the way they go. And I think that's the next step to make this game better. After that, if we get any sight of what defense we saw in the last 2 minutes of that game last night, we're going to have a 95-93 game at some point. And I think we're getting closer. We're finally figuring this thing out. I just think we do the draft that night, and we have something to build on. Guys, real or mirage, the dunk contest and 3-point shootout were great this year.
Yes. Oh, great. You're sneaky today with the Monday Mirage. Great. Mirage. Good, real. Very good, real. Great when I hear that word, it's like legendary. It's like you won't forget this year's dunk contest or 3-point shootout. It could be forgetful. You might forget in 3 years who won the 2018 3-point shootout and dunk contest. That could happen. But very good, I would say real. Like the haters of the 3-point shootout and the haters of the dunk contest say the same stuff every year. It's really difficult to please everybody. It's hard to please DJ Khaled, for goodness sakes. Guy's giving out 8s and 9s. He's really hard to please. I enjoyed it. Devin Booker is a young, good player for the Phoenix Suns. Donovan Mitchell, believe it or not, sorry, Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell's probably going to win the Rookie of the Year in the NBA, which I can't even believe that's coming out of my mouth.
It's a two-man race, right? It's a two-man race between those two.
I'm stunned how good he is for the Utah Jazz. He's been awesome this season.
Actually, I would say it's a three-man race. I'd throw Dennis Smith Jr. in the mix as well.
But here's what happens with fans, right? I still remember this dunk contest so well. I was drinking in my room in college. We had a huge party for the NBA All-Star Game before we went out that night. This is 2011. And Giannis Antetokounmpo was in the dunk contest that year. And he jumps from the foul line in the first round. Like Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Brent Barry goes from the foul line. And there are people in my dorm that day, they're like, it was all right. I'm like, that's the same dunk Jordan did. He just jumped from the foul line. And you guys are, there are so many hard critics. Like, you could do the greatest dunk ever. And people are like, yeah, but it was Donovan Mitchell who did it. So, like, huh? It was great dunks. So, real for most of it. If you're going to say great, I'd say Mirage.
I'm going to say Mirage because I forgot. I watched it. And I forgot the next day who won the dunk contest. I literally had to look it up. So I think they can definitely do better. Like I said, I want names. And the way the NBA is going to grab attention is by names. You have those big names that are in there. And again, you can't force them to participate. But if there's maybe a little bit more incentive on the line or something like that, I think they can make it better. So this for me is a big Mirage. Second to last one here, guys. Real Mirage, Fergie will get redemption after her debacle last night of the national anthem.
No! Mirage! They were so good questions up until... Fergie's done. Fergie is done doing the anthem. If she was like 14 years old and the poor girl forgot her words in the anthem, like the old story from years ago with Mo Cheeks, who helped out the girl in Portland, then maybe. If it's like the girl who... I think Tosh.0 actually grabbed her and they actually did the redemption on his show.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah, I think she did.
They did.
So if it was somebody like that, then the answer would have been real. No! Fergie is donezo. Oh, are the Black Eyed Peas even together anymore? No. Fergie is done. But she's been a bad line performer since the day she used to do stuff on New Year's Eve, and people already wasted and they didn't realize how bad she was doing. Like, yeah, Fergie, I'm having a great time. I mean, she doesn't sound right, but that's okay. I've been drinking too much. Like, that's what it was. So, Mirage, I'm 1,000% on this. I'd be stunned.
This is definitely a Mirage, 1,000%. I agree with you. If I own anything and I need someone to perform at any cost, the last person on my list would be Fergie. After what she did last night, she turned the national anthem into Santa Baby, which is not something you should be doing. It doesn't work that way. It just don't work that way. So I would keep her as far away from any microphone as possible. How the heck she still has Grammys after this is still beyond me. I don't get that, but there's no way I will ever put her near a microphone again in front of a camera.
Like Chris Tucker once said in Rush Hour, you're up there ruining the classic.
Last one, guys. Is there too much hype? Real Mirage, is there too much hype around the New York Yankees?
See, now you finished strong, my friend. You're doing a great job co-hosting, a great job on Money Mirages. But I'm going to be a little spiteful here for you because you did such a good job. I'm not going to answer that right now.
Oh,
I'm not, because I think the question's too good. Something happened today that tells me there's a little bit too much hype. So I guess real's the answer. I'm hinting at it a little bit.